Oh, hello. 6 people sitting in chat. Who do we have? Who do we have? People silent, refuse to talk. Oh, we got a wolf priest Carl. Coffee at Cherokee. Here, let me. Yeah. Oh, Kicker sees it. Kicker sees it. They said they think we can do coffee at Cherokee. I agree, Captain Andrew. I like coffee too. Yeah. Happy holidays, all my friends. Should have put Christmas music on during this. People. You guys can blame Kicker while we're running a bit late today. Yeah. We don't even need the guys behind me. We can just have the servitor show up. I'm a tech priest, yeah. I mean, if you want to get literal, jeez. Never blame Kicker, he's too nice. What the hell? You kidding me right now? Oh, Andrew, did you see that someone actually doesn't like Kicker? If you watch the Grim After Dark show. As long as there's no serval. Yeah, man. I'm the one that made the serval. I'm sorry about that. You never met the mighty Heffelfinger? Oh, wow. You have my authority. You can go up to him at any event and take an hour of his time just chatting. I'm sure he won't mind at all. Peoples. Well, we'll be at LBO. The best comment of the chat, the pre-show, Lahef loves to listen to himself. Yes. What are you implying, Andrew? That's funny. I will also fart on him. That is funny. Tune in next week. I think the mystery will be solved. There, Tamagotchi. Alright guys, enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Signals from the Frontline, your every Wednesday live broadcast brought to you by Frontline Gaming. We are your hosts, Kicker, the chief of cereal and the sigilite of FLG, and I'm Seth the Mad Doc, your competitive correspondent. Kicker, buddy, how have you been doing?
Dude, the holidays are alive and well in this household. I'm this weird, like, hybrid human being. I'm German, Hungarian, kind of Jewish, kind of not. Born and raised in the swamps of Louisiana. So anyway, to make a long story short, we just did what we call, like, our family Christmas early, which was Saturday. And because I'm German mainly, we don't do Christmas morning, we do Christmas Eve. So anyway, it's weird. My son's going to be totally screwed up when it comes to the holidays. But it was glorious. So we did all of our presents and all that nonsense. And I got some cool new toys to play with. Yay.
What'd you get?
Sadly, I did not get the brand new. I wanted some of those Artist Opus dry brushes. I don't know if you've seen them. They're like the round ones. Yeah, I have a set and I totally love them. I did not get a set. That's okay. It's okay. I won't complain. But I got a bunch of, like, van life gear because I spend a lot of the time on the road in a van. So I got a new fridge.
You got a new van coming.
Yes, I got a new van coming, hopefully picking up next week. So really excited about that. But yeah, it was a pretty chill, quality time with the family, hanging out. My kid, though, I'm really excited. He got, like, all the toys, and it's like I get to play with him too. Like, he got a really cool Jeep, like a model Jeep. And anyway, What have you been up to? Has it been more 40K focused?
Yeah, not as much. There's not as much for me to do 40K wise right now. I have a lot of my stuff already done. But I have been building more Beast Snaggle Boys. So
You're never done. You can't say you're
there's
done. You're
always
never
more.
done
Yeah.
in the hobby, man.
So I've been building some more Beast Snaggle Boys. I got a indoor like airbrush booth that like vents out the windows. So I set that up. And then I went and saw the new Spider-Man with my wife, and it was very good.
Nice. I mean, everyone is talking about this damn movie, and I mean, don't judge me. I know chat's going to blow up. And by the way, if you're watching our show, you could be live, part of our show, part of the chat every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our chat is very entertaining, to say the least. Chat, don't hate me, but I'm actually not a fan of Spider-Man. I've always been more of a Batman kind of guy. You know,
okay.
So, yeah.
I am. If gun to head, you had to have one superhero. Batman is my favorite by far.
Yeah,
but
right?
I particularly the Tom Holland Spider-Mans I have very much enjoyed. So
really, it's not just because he plays 40K, right?
No, Tom Holland doesn't play 40K. He's
Wait,
interested. He's interested in it.
He's interested. He's 40K interested. Okay,
he's 40 curious.
Yeah.
It's for the fans out there. Everyone knows that Henry Cavill's in the 40K. Yeah. Kicker, did you see that the actor that plays the Bard in The Witcher also plays 40K?
Oh my gosh! You know the set of that show. They're all just sitting down playing 40K after some screen time.
Oh, well, no, because they're like, do you want to play? Like on the interview, they're like, should we play? Yeah,
so a few people have asked, and I really have. I've been working very hard to try and get Henry's agent, Mr. Cavill's agent, involved with Frontline Gaming and to see if they're interested in coming to the LVO. So far, no luck. And I'm a very persuasive guy, so I'm going to keep this going and see.
So if anyone else in the community has connections, they could team up with you, Kicker, right?
Yes, please.
So if anyone out there has any connections to Henry Cavill or Hollywood, I guess let's get in with Kicker and let's make a broad front attack on this. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. Please.
I have a connection.
Oh, there's a tech priest. All right,
yeah. I have a connection to that Henry guy.
Are you serious?
What?
Yeah, no, I built him.
Of course.
He can't be a real person, right?
No, his jaw is so freaking chiseled.
Yeah, with the bum. He's got the bum chin.
His arms reload. Did you see that like whatever Mission Impossible movie where his arms reloaded? You're like,
he was my masterpiece.
Okay.
Right,
well, if you could get your masterpiece to show up, everyone would lose their
really
freaking
appreciate
mind.
That. Yeah, I'd really appreciate that because we take over the entire Rio in Las Vegas. We have like the presidential platinum, suite where Beyonce stays. Like we have like it's just part of our agreement that because they're like no one else is staying at the hotel except 40K players. Here's a suite. I will give him the suite if he wants to come to LVO.
Superman, you can have the suite.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You can have the nice suite. Yep. All right, Seth. Where are we at now? I guess we should.
Take us into the industry news. What's been going on in the industry?
Let's do this real fast, guys, because I know we have a full episode ahead of us.
Yes, we do.
Several new books have been hitting the shelves. The Astra Militarum have been getting I think 3 or 4 books recently. Which
that's
really
not a guardsman.
That's not the okay. So if you're watching the screen right now, we have a wonderful Tau. Okay, so we'll jump into the Tau real fast. Tau are getting their brand new show. I believe it's called the Exodite. It's airing, of course, on Warhammer Plus, and the timing is not coincidental here, right? We all know the Tau are getting their codex, so it makes sense to drop the TV show at the exact same time. I'm kind of stoked for this, not because I like Tau, but just because it's kind of cool to see, a show from a non-human perspective.
Yeah.
I read the Brutal but Cunning book that was out there, or the Cunning Brutal, or whatever. It's basically from an orc perspective, and I really like that. So to see a whole TV show from the Tau perspective, I'm like, okay, I can get on board. Well, have you seen the trailer, Seth? I'm sure you have, right?
I have not.
What?
I've been doing a lot of house projects lately, so
yeah,
I have not. But I will. I will watch it. Don't worry. I'll enjoy it.
I am not on board yet for Warhammer Plus. I think in the future it's going to be something I'm going to be interested in. But this show alone has got me more excited than basically every other show so far released. Just because I want to see, the weird 41st millennium from the perspective of a Tau dude. Yeah. But back to my true love, which are the Astra Militarum. They are getting a bunch of books. There's one on tanks. There's one on a regiment that was featured in the old Gaunt's Ghost series, the Blue Bloods. Seth, you're shaking your head. I know you don't like Guard. They're just food for you.
No, I'm over here thinking that I had Kicker convinced to play orcs, and then
And
Here we
there
are.
always has to be my my yin and my yang, right? My two opposite armies that can play totally different. And so my orcs will be one side, but I've been playing guards since I was a kid, right? So I've got that real love with them. They do have a few books, which really, the fact that we're getting all these books released really makes me think that the Guard Codex is on deck. We know it's coming in 2022. We're just not sure when, but I
Yeah.
bet it's going to be sooner rather than later, purely because of all the books that are coming out. The
I'm
other
just
big
going to
thing.
be sad to lose you.
You said Elizabeth go play guard. Don't worry, I'll be back every time. I go back and forth. It's all fun. The orcs, actually, I mean, dude, I've been playing orcs, for the past few months, and they have been the most fun army I've ever played, hands down. And that's with no buggies, of course, and no planes. And then the other big model release, I guess, is this Gravis armored character, this Gravis armored captain.
Mhm.
I could care less about another Terminator, really, but it's kind of cool. Oh, another Space Marine leader HQ choice, but it's kind of cool because the last time they did, a Gravis armored Terminator captain character was with the original 8th edition starter box. They
They've
did the
had
guy.
they got the guy with the heavy gun, but they
Yeah,
haven't
but
had
he
another
didn't have the
close
power
combat guy.
fist. He was missing the power fist, right? So
Yeah.
it's like you can't. I don't think you can be a captain without like a kick-ass close combat weapon. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, it is kind of cool though that now you don't have to try and go on eBay to try and find that old 8th edition HQ, start collecting box set.
Yep.
Seth, we do have some new rules that have been teased. Of course, these are the Tau weapon rules, and then they also had that jump, shoot, jump rule. I don't. Did you ever play Tau like in the old edition where the battle suits could shoot and
Yes,
move?
I did.
Yeah, that
I
was
did.
brutal. For those of you that never played against it, it really was. It was.
So they have access
something.
to it in the form of one stratagem now, where a unit can move up to 6 inches after shooting. It's like Fire and Fade,
Yeah.
which Eldar currently have.
But dude, you said something very important there. Up to
Yep.
6 inches. That makes it way more palatable, right? Before it was their full move, so they could literally move
Yeah.
12 inches, shoot, and then
Ruh-roh.
move back at their full distance. That was
The other
rough.
thing to notice is it doesn't say you can't charge after too.
Ooh, yeah,
Yeah.
you could.
How close combat
Oh, man.
2022.
I didn't.
I can't. Wow. I don't know.
Seth, you want to give us a rundown of some of the weapon profiles that they teased?
Yeah, so they've changed the burst cannon profile. They've given it like 2 more shots, so now it's assault 6. They've increased the range on the flamer and given it the ability to get another extra 2 shots, so it's assault 6 plus or D6 plus 2.
Oh, cool.
But the big thing is battle suits, which historically have been things like your ghost keels, your stealth suits, your crisis suits, broadsides, riptides.
Butter of the Tau army.
Yeah, the bulk of that. They are now able to shoot it even when they're in combat, and they can shoot into combat with other Tau units being engaged with it. So they're going to get real shooty real quick.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a significant change for the whole army if they can do that. I mean, that's going to really, because as we all know, Tau kind of sucked in close combat. So to give them this kind of significant counterpunch in the form of shooting, is at least something.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Cool.
Sorry.
And so on the GW front, I should announce, because I'm just looking at my notes here. We've gotten quite a few people asking about the full color sets that we've teased since November, and we've released.
You mean on the FLG front?
Yes, on the FLG front. Yeah, sorry, the Frontline gaming front of the new products. So the full color terrain sets will likely be on display on the 40K Champs tables. Not all of the tables will have them, but just a few tables will have them. We're like trying to produce as many as we can. So, if you're going to the LVO, you'll probably see them on the 40K Champs Hall. Not every table will have them, but some will. You can get to see them up close and play with them. But then they'll be back on sale on the Frontline Gaming website right after LVO, and we can start taking orders again. And we'll have them for the Gothic Ruins, the Orcs, and then 1 or 2 other sets. I don't want to say what the other 2 sets are, but if you know the most recently produced set that we made not in color, I don't know if that helps. The most recent design, I think that might be giving you a good idea which one it's going to be.
Whatever.
Yeah.
When can I order the orc stuff?
Yeah, just want the orc stuff. Okay, moving on, right? Just the orc stuff. Seth, take us into the FLGN and what's going on over there. Oh no, not yet.
I was like, you have event news.
Yeah. I forgot there's something really important. We did upload the final packet. The packet's a live document, so it's always going to adjust it. But the LVO packet has been added, and it does have the terrain rules that we're going to be using, which are basically what we use in New Orleans and at SoCal. As our testing ground, they worked well, so we're using for LVO. But we've also announced the missions that we're going to be running at LVO for the 40K Champs. Round 1 is going to be the retrieval mission. Round 2 is Scorched Earth. Round 3 is Vital Intelligence. Round 4 is Surround and Destroy. Round 5 is Battle Lines. Round 6 is the scouring. Round 7 is overrun. Round 8 is sweep and clear. And round 9 is priority target. Then we'll be doing the last 3 rounds that you're playing, round 7, 8, and 9. Those will be the same rounds that we'll use. Those same missions we'll be playing in the Sunday RTT. So you get to play basically all the missions. What we do need to talk about, though, guys, is the shadow round, the dreaded, terrified, exciting shadow round. If at the end of round,
it's exciting if you make it, but it's also terrifying if you make it because you have to play a 4th game that day.
Dude,
and if you win, you got to get up and play more.
Yeah, so for those not in the know, at the end of round 6, if there are 8 truly undefeated players, and by truly undefeated, we mean you've got 6 wins, not a single tie, then a shadow round will be played in the format of the qualification.
It's
basically,
not 8, it's more than 8.
More than 8, yeah, more than 8. So that's how we minimize it down to the top 8 for Sunday's finals.
Yeah.
So obviously, if there's less than 8, though, then there will be no shadow round. It's not necessary. Nobody wants to play a 4th round on Saturday.
With the numbers we're expecting at LVO, there should be more than 8.
Yes. So Seth, you're absolutely right. Most likely there will be a shadow round, and unfortunately, I believe Danny, one of the Frontline Gaming staff judges, will have to stay up late at night watching this while the rest of us are getting ready for Sunday. Yeah. So it's an experience. Not one that you necessarily want to have, but the shadow round is truly part of the LVO experience.
Yeah, because it's usually not something that we have to do at a lot of the other events because we just don't have as many players because the LVO draws a huge crowd. Our producer Richard, he says he's never been to LVO. He's going this year, so it'll be quite the experience for him.
Yes. Dude, you will have fun. I just finished talking earlier today with the AV crew at the venue there regarding the setup we're going to have for the FLGN, and we hope to have a nice big screen there so that everyone's playing or in between rounds, or if you're watching the finals, there'll be the nice big projector screen there so you can kind of watch what's happening. And it's going to be a really, really, really nice setup. Speaking about talking to venue management, a lot of people have been asking about coffee since last week's episode.
Cap and Andrew, this is for you. Cap and Andrew, pay attention.
Last week we asked people if they would like coffee or like alcohol first thing in the morning, and overwhelmingly people want coffee in the morning. I don't understand why, but I am a guy from New Orleans,
is as naturally energetic as you, Kicker.
So I've been working with the managers at both the Rio, which the LVO's at, and at Cherokee to try and see how we can get a coffee service in the morning that's affordable and whatnot. So you don't have to go wait in Starbucks and battle those lines. It looks like I should be able to make it happen for LVO and almost definitely for Cherokee because I got a little bit more time for that. So there'll be coffee. I'm trying to figure out how bougie the 40K player is. Do we need can we just get like standard old drip coffee, or do I need to get espressos here? Because it gets way more logistically complicated to set up a whole coffee espresso bar. So
I would vote just standard drip coffee with some cream and sugar available would be fine. Mm-hmm. And if folks want to get the fancy coffee, they can go wait in line for the fancy coffee.
Starbucks.
That's my vote. Chat, let us know what your vote is.
Chat, how bougie are you? Do we need need like frappa frappuccinos and toppings galore? So I'd like, at least right now, just because logistically it's way easier. Because don't forget, it's not just about having it available, but it's also the turnaround time, right? If we have 1,200 people playing 40K at 10 a.m. in the morning, we need to be able to
multiple votes of just a cup of black coffee is fine. One vote by a cleric of witches that says espresso booth for the shadow round.
Oh, you know what? At that point, I think they earned themselves an espresso. I think I can go and pick up a few.
Everyone's just voting regular coffee. So I think I think that'll be affordable regular coffee. We'll go just fine.
Okay. Let's ask Seth if you could watch the chat real fast, just because I like this live poll here. I'm also going to want to do some sort of like consumable product to go with your coffee, whether it's a donut. Do we want donuts, muffins, or breakfast sandwiches? Those are kind of the options I'm considering right now. So like a breakfast sandwich, like an Egg McMuffin equivalent, a muffin, or like glazed donuts. What are we saying here? All right.
I'm waiting.
Oh, you're waiting.
They're a little behind us.
Oh, I mean, breakfast sandwich sounds delightful.
A breakfast sandwich, right? Yeah, my goal is to have like your food and drink for like $7.50.
Multiple votes for sandwich. Multiple votes for protein over sugar.
Egg sandwich.
So I think sandwich seems like a popular vote.
Can we just stop right there? No, sugar always. I mean, you.
Yeah, but first thing in the morning, I don't need many votes for sandwich.
Okay,
So,
so my target price is around 750, like with your coffee and your food. That's kind of what I'm trying to get for.
yeah, I
But I'll
think
get to.
that's
But
fair.
yeah, anyway, so that's what I'm going to be working on after the episode tonight. Seth, why don't you take us into the FLGN news?
Yeah, so, this week on the FLGN, Grim After Dark had the lovely, effervescent Val Heffelfinger on for an AMA, and they certainly did ask him anything. It was an experience, let
It's
me
a
tell you that.
raunchy show.
It was quite something else. So folks, don't be afraid to check that out. And I'm here to give you a little sneak preview. There's going to be more to follow next week, based on the discussions there. So go check that out. Thursday show is going to be back again. It's mostly just going to be a listener request episode, listener questions. They're the segment they stole from us, Kicker, the rapid fire question segment with a timer. They call it Fuego Rapido, but they're
Yeah,
going to
no, I'm
do a
okay with
long one of
that.
that. So
They needed
um,
it, Seth. They needed
they
it.
they they needed it, they needed it. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, and then Chapter Tactics did an episode last night. Unfortunately, I did not catch that last night because I was tied up in other endeavors. But the shows keep on coming. They're never going to stop, folks. So just keep your eyes tuned to the network. Our main segment tonight,
Yes.
and chat. I'm still watching you guys, but I'm still trying to talk. So I'll catch your questions as we go. A year in review, Kicker.
Yeah.
It's
It was a year.
Yep.
It was a year. I'm not trying to be pessimistic here, but I'm gonna be just like I'm gonna talk to you straight, man. Like I was surprised. I really expected 2021 to be the year that 2020 wasn't. You know, like a
Yeah.
full
Yeah.
normal year. You know, obviously we can talk about the bigger picture here in terms of travel and life and whatnot. But just in like 40K, I was kind of expecting to like get back into it full swing. It's only really the second half of the year where we're starting to get more events, but now we're getting hit with Omicron. I was like, oh geez, you know. But it looks like events are back in full swing. We're taking precautions. People are being, you know, everyone's getting vaccinated
Mhm.
finally,
Yep.
and masks are
I
being worn.
I
Yep.
guess that's another important point to roll back because
Shoot.
I've seen that question float around a few times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
LVO, correct me if I'm wrong, but the requirements for Vegas now are masking indoors.
Yeah, yeah. So we will follow exactly the guidelines set by Clark County, which is where Las Vegas is based.
Mhm.
And so yeah, they do enforce masks regardless if you're vaccinated or not. I know some states, if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask, but in Clark County, where Las Vegas is, you will have to wear a mask. So at the LVO at this time, assuming nothing changes, you will have to wear your mask the entire event. Obviously, you know, not in your room or whatever, but during in the gaming hall, you have to wear your mask,
Yep.
and that will be forced by us. You do not have to provide proof of vaccination though to come into the hall. That's not required.
All right. I know that question had been floating around, and
Yeah.
before we wrote the notes, I thought I needed to ask that,
No,
but
no, no, no. Good call. Good
now
call.
now I forgot, and now I'm
Yeah.
back into it.
We're back to the
Anyway,
year in review.
year
So
review. So
it
in hindsight, so you're talking about your expectations for the year
yeah,
were high.
yeah,
In hindsight, a lot, the feeling is that it's been a slow year.
yeah.
I keep that in mind as we go through this list, though, because it really wasn't a slow year when you start looking at what managed to come out.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, we didn't do really events after LVO, right, in
yeah,
2020. But guess what? This year we've had so many freaking events. We've had the products. Finally, it seems like shipping is back on track. It's really been the second half of the year, but we've gotten new products and a lot of new products. So
yep,
there's been a lot happening this year, despite it feeling a little off,
yeah.
which gets me even more optimistic for 2022.
Yeah. So January, we had the LVO Nopen. For those of you that remember, um, this was essentially a stream tournament where armies were selected in advance, but the games were played by different players. The army was the thing that advanced, not the
Mhm.
player. So they'd move it to a different stream house, and a lot of the big streamers collaborated together to do that. It was a really cool thing,
Yeah,
and it gave us all something to kind of watch on the weekend when we were supposed to be having LVO,
yeah.
which was, it needed to not happen. But it felt like it was still, a fun event. We had the Death Guard release in January, which,
Yes.
like, at this point you're like, wow, Death Guard in January, that book feels so old.
But dude,
um
look at Death Guard are still holding their own,
yeah,
right? Like Death Guard is power creep is one thing, but they're still up there,
yeah,
duking it
but
out.
it feels so long ago. Hopping on to February, you know what happened in February, Kicker?
Dark Angels
Dark
and
Angels, yeah, the Dark Angels
Valentine's Day.
comics. Oh,
Valentine's Day.
that's
I
it.
forgot Valentine's Day
And
with my wife. She got really
it's
pissed.
also my wife's birthday that month.
Oh wow! All right, yeah, that makes it easy for you, right? Because right, no, yeah, no, okay.
And
I
it
don't.
also used to be when our anniversary was, so that
Oh,
month was just like
all the stuff, all the romantic crap.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So
Dark Angels, though, man, that's a fan favorite army. I mean,
yeah,
people are very loyal to Dark Angels. I have no personal opinion on them. They're just another army that has some feathers on their head, and they wear green and the robes. What are your
they
thoughts? I mean, do you
they
like Dark Angels, where they're at, and how they've evolved over the year?
they were an interesting army because when they came out, the build was basically like, what if I just sit here and earn points and don't
Mhm.
move forward? And it was a very strange build. Um, they've done some iterations on it, but I don't know. They're not top tabling anywhere that I've seen, but they still made a decent run in New Orleans. I remember our Dark
Yeah.
Angel going pretty far in that event. So
Was that the guy? I think that was the guy running all Terminator, or like 30 Terminator, something
yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
certainly still viable. March.
March.
March was Drukari.
Drakari. Whew.
Which Captain Andrew points out that Drukari won the Nopen. So the Nopen was really the preview of things to come. So good catch on that one,
Yeah.
Captain Andrew.
It's
But
like
yeah,
a
like
new-
the Drukari book has been out now for almost 10 months, which is a
Yeah.
long time. And we're still feeling the presence of it. It is
I
still a
mean,
very strong codex. It's gone through 3 nerfs and it's still kicking butt.
yeah, it's definitely not been crippled enough now. I mean, just last was 2 weeks ago, the top four,
Yeah.
two of the top 4 armies were Chikari, at the
Yeah.
New Orleans Open. Jeez.
Yeah, we'll put a pin on Drukari because I want to get back into that
Okay.
later in a little editorial I have.
All right.
But April was
Yes.
supposed to be when BAO was happening.
That was sad. So the BAO is always held at KublaCon, and KublaCon did not happen. That's the big convention there in San Francisco. So because that didn't happen, and obviously San Francisco they had protocols in effect. We just couldn't do the BAO this year. So that was pretty disappointing not to do. But the good news is that BAO 2022 is happening. I'm working right now to start setting that up. So as soon as literally the week after LVO, it's like only focusing on BAO, getting that squared away.
And Cherokee.
Well, if Cherokee's pretty much good to go. Actually, we'll get to it, but we might be adding a few more events to Cherokee. I just got off the phone with FTO, yeah. So, yeah. But yeah. So BAO is happening in April. Well, Memorial Day weekend in 2022.
Yep. Moving on to May, we had AdMech release in May.
Yes.
Kicker, you are an AdMech boy.
Yeah,
Did you enjoy that book?
dude. Yes, I mean, I was playing AdMech from the end of 8th through the Codex release up until the Orc release, and AdMech have kind of they were really doing pretty crummy. Then all of a sudden they did amazing, and now they're just kind of sucking. But the Codex I really liked a lot because you could do basically anything you wanted with that army. You wanted a combat army, you could get a combat army. You wanted a shooty gun line, you could get a shooty gun line. You wanted something sneaky, there was plenty of sneaky stuff. I really liked it. What I didn't like was the level of complexity to play that army. It took me forever to get very I guess confident with all the rules and when rules were done.
Yep, it is a very complicated army to run.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't know about you, dude, but that's the army out of all the armies I've ever played that I had to have more, I don't want to use this word negatively, but trinkets, tokens, to remember everything. It was comical. I'd have to hold back. Here's all my little things I have to use to remind me about everything that's taking place.
It was important for your opponent to know too, because there was so you tell me all the names of the buffs, and I'm like, gobbledygook.
Yeah.
What is the effect? And they're like,
Exactly.
that one has fight last. That one has +1 hit. I'm like, that I understand. Thank you.
AdMech, this edition of AdMech is one of the reasons we have become so adamant that we're very encouraging for players to all bring tokens to represent effects in game, because AdMech was the big the big meaning that made everyone realize, wow, this is really a complicated game if you don't have some sort of visual aid there.
Yep. Matthew Nurgle made the comment of clocking those robots. That was a thing that you needed to start doing originally, because if you were a new AdMech player, you could take a lot of time getting all that stuff sorted out.
You never would have thought that AdMech would become a horde army, but at one point that was what
they were like, what if we just brought like a bajillion troops? And you're like, oh my God, where are they all
guilty.
Interesting thing to note.
Yeah.
The community can't see our notes, Kicker, but we can see our notes.
We can see our notes.
But community, you'll admit that January through May has been pretty sparse. Do you remember when the vaccines first came out and became widely available, Kicker?
I believe that was March, right?
March through April and May was when they were really pushing to get the vaccine out there. And so June is when things start to open up. And June is the first. Everyone stop and take a moment to realize this.
Yes.
June was the first ground up event for FLG
that
Kicker has run.
Yeah. That was actually my first time working at a Frontline Gaming event as a Frontline
Yeah.
game, full-time
Yeah.
employee and stuff. Yeah, that was really cool. So that was the Atlantic City Open. So that was a brand new event for Frontline Gaming. Never happened before. It's going to become our LVO equivalent from now on. We've already got it in the books for
For
2022 and 2023.
the off,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say 6 months apart. It's not quite 6 months.
It's almost 6 months, but we have our East Coast and West Coast. We have our summer winter event. The ACO is really
Yeah.
it's positioned to grow.
You're getting a lot
We'll
of
talk
shout
about that
outs
in
in
depth.
chat that it was fun.
Yeah.
Kicker, it was also the first time that you and I ever did signals.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, that was so weird. I got up there and I did a remote broadcast. We didn't have our fancy
Yeah.
shirts at that time, so
We didn't.
yeah,
It
I
was
was
just
wearing something
me.
far more obnoxious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool though. Going up there, no one from Frontline Gaming had ever even seen the hall because we couldn't travel at that time
To
so
check it out, yeah.
we reserved the hall sight unseen. So I went up there all on my own. Late at night, I flew in and I'm like, whoa, the hall is actually as good, if not better, than what it looks like in the photos. And all the tables are here, and we're ready to rock. So yeah, and then we did signals that night.
Yep.
Seth, you were at ACO too, man. Was that your
Yeah.
first big event post COVID or like since?
Yeah. I mean, I really hadn't gone to anything since
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
Like it was, yeah. So that was a good one. And honestly, that was the second Frontline Gaming event that I've ever been to.
Oh, wow.
The last one was the LVO right before COVID. So
oh wow. Well, it was really a special event because
yeah.
I think that was many people, just like you said, that was their first big event in literally a year,
Yeah,
2 years.
and
So
it
there's a
was-
lot
it
of
was-
camaraderie building and
Yep.
friends getting to see
to
each
get
other
out and see everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where saw a lot of old friends, met a lot
Mhm.
of new friends. Yeah, it was a good
Seth,
time.
but there was more than just our wonderful event. There was a few other things
Yes.
happening in June.
Yes, some folks may remember June is when they dropped the Gaunt's Ghost set of models,
Mhm.
which is crazy to think about because, I'm like, oh yeah, they did that set too, and that was in June. And I remember I read those books a ton when I was younger,
Yeah.
so those were just cool to see those all get revamped and updated. Chapter Approved 2021 came out. That's when
Yeah.
we got the updated missions and point values for 2021. Not a big change. Folks are
No.
kind of expecting more from the mission change. It looks like we're going to be getting more in the 2022.
Yeah.
There's going to be a bigger change than we got there. So,
And hey, on that note, real fast, LVO, we're going
Yep.
to be using the current mission set just in
Yeah.
case people are wondering. That's not a factor.
yeah, it's been announced, but yeah, they're not gonna. If GW were to drop it, tomorrow, they're still going to run the 2021 missions. And I honestly, I have no say in any of how these decisions are made, everyone. But I kind of like that because the LVO is the end of the season.
Yep.
Let's, the NFL doesn't change the rules mid-season.
No.
Let's finish the season out with the rule set we got. And that'll give the next season some spice. You know what I mean? That'll give
Exactly.
the next season something. All right, I'm going to try something new because I've got new secondaries and new missions to play for. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. Let's
We've
send
done
off
that
the
so that-
2021 mission packet with a bang.
And then you roll into February, and we have Cherokee, and Cherokee will be our first big event with the new rules.
Yep.
Seth, don't forget the I don't know. I thought this was a really weird new product. I guess released in June was the Astra Militarum upgrade pack. So
Yep,
you have an
yeah.
existing set that's actually ancient, and they just added another sprue in there with upgrades to it. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was more weapons, more diversity in
Heads.
terms of heads and stuff. That was cool. They also released the Sisters. Sisters came out in June. So they got the full set, the codex. Their models kind of trickled out a little bit over the summer, but that was when we got all the rules, and they kind of rose to prominence. And then we moved into July. And Kicker, there was another event you ran that month.
Yes, this is an event. I mean, I was very excited about ACO. Don't get me wrong, but this was one event that I was from the very beginning, from the negotiating the contract to the for the venue, scouting out locations and stuff. This is one that I was really involved with very heavily, and that was the Lone Star Open in just outside of Dallas. And this one was a very successful event, one of the highest rated events we've had from our post-event surveys. I mean, everyone was really stoked about it. The venue was great. The tournament was well run, but we had a bunch of different events that we had not brought in previously. We had X-Wing there, our Armada. So you unfortunately did not make it. Seth.
I did not.
I tried so hard.
You did,
man.
and I tried.
Oh,
I totally forgot to take the pictures for that. So sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. I do want to point out we had a few comments about sisters
Yeah.
that are worth sharing. Rutino Sanati says Codex dropped during ACO, and a cleric of Rich says, I still have my Castigator in the box on the shelf of opportunity. And I like that positivity
That is
there, cleric.
awesome.
Shelf of opportunity. It is not pile of shame. It is shelf of
Oh my
opportunity.
God, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, that's what I'm going to call it from now on because my shelf of opportunity is pretty embarrassing
There's lots
or
of opportunities.
empowering. Very
Kicker,
empowering.
there was something else that was released in July.
I can't take your
Something
thunder,
near and
Seth. I
dear
can't
to
take
our
your thunder, man.
hearts. The Beast Snagga box. The
Yes.
Beast Snagga box came out. We had the new Beast Snagga boys, the Squigog boys, the Knob,
And the
we
codex that came with
had
the box.
Zodrog. We got the Codex.
Mhm.
We didn't get the full release for a little bit longer, but we still got it in our hands. I was super excited. I bought way too many of them. But I've built all the models and painted them all already, so it's been fantastic. So that was the revival of my orcs right there. But something else happened in July. Again, a lot's happening in July.
And that was the Age of Sigmar 3.0 release, the third
AOS
edition
got
of
their
Age of Sigmar.
3.0,
Yeah.
which has taken a few months, but it really seems like it's starting to kind of fire on all cylinders.
Yeah, we're a 40K focus. Let's just be transparent, right? But Age of Sigmar, every time they get an update, it's kind of cool. I feel like sometimes they test things in Age of Sigmar that are brought over to 40K and vice versa. And of course, anytime a new Age of Sigmar kit is dropped, I was like, how can I convert that to 40K, right? But yeah, Age of Sigmar, the new box set that was interesting. It seemed like they made too many of them because I still see that start collecting box set all over the place.
With the Cruel Boys and the new Sigmarines. I don't know what they call them. I just call them Sigmarines.
No, totally Sigmarines. I love it.
I guess we missed something back in probably April, May-ish, was the first Warzone Charcharodon book.
Yes.
Well, I guess it would be March because it came out with Drukhari, basically.
Yeah, right between Drukhari and Admech, yeah.
And I remember that because August is when we got the second Warzone Charcharodon Book of Fire.
Yes.
So we got Book of Fire in August, and that came with a big, beautiful boy. Who is it?
Mr. Bellicor himself.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, that model, okay, I mean, I am not an evil, loving fan. I don't like the chaos look, the demons, but that model's a gorgeous model. And it's kind of cool because it's perfectly great for Age of Sigmar or 40K. You can change out the dead figure to be a Space Marine or Sigmarine.
I do enjoy that they were like, just take the Sigmarine off and put the Space Marine on.
And now it's for Age of Sigmar approved, right?
Yeah, you could probably magnetize that.
Yeah. Have you played anyone running that model yet, Seth?
I have.
Yeah.
I hate him.
It's intimidating.
Well, he's just like, blah, you die. And you're like, what?
So I went against him in one of the GW events, and that was before they nerfed my Admech Vanguard, so I could do that mortal the wounds on a 4-up.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was like, goodbye.
Right, screw you.
Yeah, but now it's way harder to kill.
First of many.
Yeah. Right.
We also had in that month we had the Thousand Suns and Grey Knights Codex released.
Yeah.
All of that dropped. Don't go away. We got the pretty Grey Knights and Thousand Suns over here. So they got their releases. We had Kill Team Octarius, or as I say, Kill Team Orctarius.
Oh wow.
Drop, and that's where we had the new Krieg models for Guard and the new Commando models for Orcs, and the amazing Orc terrain set.
Yeah, the Orc terrain set has been used now at the GW events because it's so pretty. The Orc terrain set is gorgeous. I'm sure it's going to get released eventually on its own. It is a beautiful terrain set that is functional as well.
Yes,
but let's just step aside from the terrain. I know the terrain's cool, Seth, but we have to accept the fact that these are probably some of the most gorgeous kits, the Orc and the Deathcore Krieg. Like, these have to be some of the best 40K kits, period.
Fantastic.
There's so much personality on each kit. I mean, they even have little Orc Swiss Army knives. Like it's too much, and it's
amazing.
Yeah, that really shows. If you compare that to like the old school Orc boys, it's like what?
And in August, because August isn't done yet, they dropped a whole new core set of rules for Kill Team.
Yeah.
So we're getting two complete new rule sets, AOS and Kill Team this year. Like, we got a lot of stuff actually.
And the new Kill Team update is like you said, it's a new core set. Like, it's an entirely new game. I mean,
new
you can't play old Kill Team and then just jump into new Kill Team and think you know what you're doing. You have to learn everything from scratch, which is not a bad thing. It's a brand new game, and so far people have really liked it.
Yeah, it's been very popular at the FLG events that I've seen. Now we move on to September. Kicker. There's
It's my
another
birthday.
FLG event.
Oh no, yes, sorry, yes, it's another FLG event, but it's also my birthday. So yes, it is the Las Vegas Team Tournament. This is a brand new event for us. So already now in this year, we've had 3 events that are totally new for us. This is the first ever Frontline Team Tournament we ever did. There was a lot of I don't know, discussion, if we want to call it that, between what format we were going to run. People wanted it to be just like the World Team format or maybe ATC. We chose to do a very simplified format to make it very approachable for veterans and new players alike. At the end of the day, people really, really, really liked the event. The the post event survey was very positive. We're definitely doing this again in 2022.
All right. I believe the other important thing that happened in the month of September was the full orc release. Oh man,
Yes.
we got access to the rest of the models, which was great because we were still having a lot of questions of how big is a beast boss on Swiggers supposed to be, how big is a kill rig supposed to be. So now we had the official models, we can get our hands on those, and like any good orc player, start converting the crap out of them. So that was exciting.
And that beast boss on Squigosaur I thought was really cool because I hadn't seen this phenomenon happen very often with 40K models. But even if you didn't play 40K, even if you didn't play orcs, even if people are just buying the beast boss on Squigosaur model purely because of its aesthetic. It's just a pretty model. They want to
paint it. Very nice model.
Yeah. And that brought people in that have no desire to play 40K. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe that's their gateway drug. Maybe they get this one model and they want to start learning the rules or something, right?
Their gateway drug is that model and Henry Cavill's abs. I promise, Henry, if you actually show up, I will not be this awkward in person.
Man, don't count on it. Not for this LVO, at least. So far, I've had no.
I'm just putting good thoughts out into the universe, Kicker, and what happens, man.
Maybe we need to get like a lower tier celebrity. Like maybe we get like, I don't know, like a. Come on.
Who else plays 40K? It is vocal about it.
We got to find somebody. We got to find.
There's a few people, right?
Yeah. Like maybe somebody like it's a C tier.
Doesn't Ed Sheeran play 40K too?
Yeah, right. There we go. Boom. Yeah, he's easy to get. We'll just get a musician. No problem whatsoever, right?
Yeah, and then once Ed comes over, Henry's got to come.
Totally. I mean, that's the goal, right?
Now, everyone, if he shows up, just be cool. Cool, everyone.
No, seriously. I mean, that's the problem, right? Like they want to go to these events. Yeah. But the problem is it's hard to make sure that they just don't get bombarded. And
we're tangenting so bad. Anyway, October.
Okay, October, not Orcs.
There was another event.
Yes, there was the SoCal Open. And this is kind of cool. We're going back to our roots. This is one of our longest running events in San Diego. A beloved event right there on the beach in the SoCal, the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Wonderful event. We decided to expand it this year. It was the largest event, not the largest. We've had larger numbers for 40K previously, but the SoCal Open as a whole was significantly larger because we brought in so many more game systems. Seth, you weren't there, but I know you watched that last game on stream. Do you want to?
Yeah, it was a rough run with orcs basically tabling Sean Naden in a turn.
Yeah,
congrats to Logan Heath on that performance, but it really did demonstrate how off balance some things had become. Now, Kicker, I think you've buried the lead about SoCal, but I heard there was funnel cake.
There was funnel cake at SoCal. I had made a promise that we would have funnel cake, and I delivered. There was funnel cake,
and I have been told that beignets are just like big fluffy funnel cake.
Don't say that. You will piss me. I will fight you. I will stab you.
You got to talk to Adam then, because Adam.
Adam Solis really insists that.
No.
Yeah. Was it Leo or Adam? One of those guys was.
It was Leo said it, and then Camilleri said it.
Yeah. Oh, Adam Camilleri was saying it. Oh man. Oh, we got to slap that guy around. You do not call the glory that is a Louisiana, specialty, a beignet, a funnel cake.
Solis called it a bidet.
A bidet. All right. Okay. Back to SoCal though. So SoCal, yes, it was a great event. Whatever. It was a wonderful event. We're going to be doing SoCal again and again and again because that's a beloved event of ours. We did learn though that the game needed to get fixed.
Need some help. Yep.
Yeah. We also had the new Warzone book, right, Seth?
Yep. Warzone Octarius 1, Rising Tide. That was the NID rules and other stuff, but basically NID rules. Chat will correct me if whatever I missed. And then we also got a Crusade mission pack, Containment, which they've been dropping these these Crusade mission packs along with the supplements, which I think is cool because if you're playing, particularly in these times where maybe you don't want to be in giant crowds, having a 2-person campaign and GW basically releasing 4 of those this year is a really cool little thing just to have around to play with your friends.
Okay, let's just be honest though, dude. Have you ever
Yeah.
even seen anyone play Crusade? I have not. Like, I have such
I
a
I have
okay. You
I
have
have not played it myself, but I have seen people play it.
okay.
And I very much like the progression system they have in there. So I think the cool thing about things like this, like these Crusade mission packs and these like narrative campaigns in like Warzone Octarius, like there is nothing to stop Kicker, you and I, like 3 years from now playing that campaign if we want to.
So they're
Like,
timeless. Okay.
yeah, they always have them. So like for listeners, the Octarius campaign is Orcs versus Tyranids. My very good friend back in Baltimore was a huge Tyranids player, and I'm a huge Orcs player, and we played each other all the time when I lived back there. And I was like, oh man, this campaign. But it's like, whenever Brian and I can spend a week together, we can totally be like, you know what? Let's bring a bunch of models and let's play through this campaign, and we can do it. Like it's timeless. So it's
Yeah.
content that's there for us.
That's a
Always.
really good point, Seth.
Yeah.
I did not think about that. I really did not.
Now
We also had a very big army release.
Yes.
Yes.
Big
Another
hulking men, manly men, the Black Templar.
yes. The Black Templar Army box.
Yeah,
GW's
yeah.
really on this trend right now to do their army box releases. So this was not the full release. This was just the army box with I think the Codex was involved. Was the Codex in this one? I know.
The Codex was in it, but they
Yeah.
got the full release later in
Later on.
November. Speaking of, I'm going to try to pick it up because we have a lot of stuff to cover.
Yeah.
November, we got Warzone Octarius Book 2, Critical Mass, which was the Orc rules. Yes. We got the Red Gobbo and Bouncer, which is the new Christmas model. We got another Crusade mission pack. We got the full Black Templar release.
Finally,
we got
yeah.
Kill Team Chenaleth, which was the Sisters versus Tau, and then we got the balanced data slate.
Now, the most important thing here is the balanced data slate. I mean, I agree. The Red Gobbo on Gobbo or whatever is
most important. Definitely,
it's important, but I think the most important here is clearly the balanced data slate.
Yeah.
This set the precedent, showing that GW is going to step in and fix the mistakes that were seen in SoCal as well as other events, of course. But the biggest offender was clearly SoCal. They got a lot of views and whatnot. So it was nice to see the balanced data slate go into effect, and it's been extremely well received. I have not heard anyone complain about the data slate. Yes, I'm an AdMech player. I'm sad about a lot of things that happen. You're an Orc player. I'm sure you're sad about some of the things that happen. But at the end of the day, the game is a better game.
Yeah, the game is a better game. I appreciate finally seeing GW taking a more active role in balancing outside of just points or individual codex FAQs. It's back to sort of that 8th edition feel. If you remember playing through early 8th edition, where they were releasing more or less beta test rules. That's where we got concealed positions where you can give your entire side cover, or that's how they changed the reserve mechanics. That's how they changed how Fly interacted. They fine-tuned a lot of the mechanics of the game there, which really made the game feel a lot more balanced. So I'm glad to see that we're doing this again. And they also said that they're going to try to stick to a quarterly update, which is really nice. Yeah. Ratina Sanati says on their rule of 3. We got rule of 3 in 8th edition through this type of system.
You're right. Good call, chat.
So seeing that they're coming back to that type of interaction is very, very exciting.
Yeah. And Seth, you briefly touched on it, but the fact is that GW, they sometimes take things back, but it's, as of right now, the plan is that there will be more of these balanced data slates every quarter.
I'm putting positive vibes out into the universe.
Keep it going, GW.
Yep. December, Kicker. There was another event.
The New Orleans Open, another brand new event here in New Orleans, where I'm based. That was a lot of fun. I got to see you, Seth. I got to see a lot of new.
I ate lots of bidets.
You can eat bidets any day, man. That was a great event. A lot of fun. A lot of powdered sugar all over the game hall. But that was the final testing grounds for the terrain rules that were going to be used for LVO, and now those are live on the website. And of course, the last little thing was the Age of Sigmar balanced data slate, right, Seth?
Yeah, the battle scroll, which is essentially the balanced data slate for AOS. Maybe we still have some of the AOS guys in chat. I don't play AOS, so I don't know quite the details of change, but I've heard it was positively received.
Yeah.
How much of a change it is, I don't know if it's as big as the the 40K one, but generally positively received. So
let's just go to a few quick takeaways for the year as a whole, right? Like, because there's a lot of things that happened in the year. We didn't really touch on, like, I guess, the new releases and the events. Big year of licensing, right? I mean, a lot of random merch was launched, and this was the old GW never did this, right? Old 40K, you didn't have all this stuff, but now you have not one, not two, but 3 different types of action figures to choose from in the span of 1 year. You have
yes, you do.
The new Space Marine video game, right? That looks epic.
That was like 10 years from the last one, and I'm so excited for it.
Then you have like the random stuff, right? You have the scented candles, you have the plushies, you have the Chibi Advent calendar, which is like, where did that come from? And of course, the little fancy pins for each faction. And there's just more and more apparel than they've ever done before, including the ugly Christmas sweater things they're doing.
And I have the orc one. I just didn't wear it tonight because of the green screen.
Of course you do.
Don't forget the bathrobes.
We have
there's yes, last week they did Chaos and Imperial.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Of course.
Yep.
I don't joke about 40K.
So you're saying that we're gonna have like a 40K spa with your 40K scented candles, your 40K bathrobes, right? All right.
Kicker, you wish you had a 40K bathrobe.
You know I do, man. You know I do. I do actually have quite a bit of the GW apparel because it's not only cool because it's of course got your 40K crap on it, but it's actually good quality. I'm into merchandising and product manufacturing. I'm pretty good with when it comes to attention to detail for the product, and like the GW merchandise is all good stuff. Like the quality is top notch. GW events, we learned a lot about them. First of all, GW came back to the event scene and started doing their events. And they're fun. They're different, but fun
for that process.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That was years since they've done that process.
It's been years. Yeah, totally years. And so they're not the same format as a lot of the other events, but they're definitely a lot of fun. And they also have something that Seth and I discovered by going to an event, that they have piles, like truckloads of product that is basically hard to find anywhere else. And this includes the brand new releases. So if you're going to a GW event and they're releasing product that weekend, they will have all of it in massive quantities. So I know that you wanted those new orc models when they dropped.
Oh yes,
they had them all right there, just waiting for you.
They kept tantalizing me for the first 2 days. They're like, they're back here, and I'm like, can I buy it yet? And they were like, Saturday.
We GW. I had a call with them earlier. The Forge World booth at LVO will be extremely well stocked this year because previous years they would sell out. So the GW crews bring their entire Forge World, I guess, inventory to LVO.
They're bringing all of Forge World. They're emptying it all out.
All of it.
The tech priest here, he's going to help run it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All the Ripper Swarms.
The competitive side of the game is alive and well. That's another big takeaway for this year. We learned that GW is supporting the competitive side better than ever, thanks to that balance late. And it looks like the rules are coming back out at a nice pace again. So that's really positive.
Hopefully we stay on track and keep the train rolling in 2022.
And then the another key takeaway is events. They're back. They're bigger than ever. LVO is bigger than it's ever been before. We have 8 events for Frontline Gaming alone scheduled for 2022. So it's huge. We went from just having 3 events to now 8 events, and it looks like a lot of other people are adding events. So more events is good for the community as a whole. I mean, I would love to be able to go every weekend.
Like the Cherokee Open.
Like the Cherokee Open in February, another brand new Frontline Gaming event. And Seth, I mean, let's just be honest. I think the biggest takeaway, at least one of the biggest takeaways for me, was that models for 40K went from looking okay to looking just dead sexy, looking just as good as the Age of Sigmar models. I think the quality of the 40K model line has just gotten better and better, and this year really proved it.
I have only eyes for orcs, but I assume the rest look beautiful.
Oh, dude, even the new Black Templar characters—they're just gorgeous.
I almost bought that in Purge Champion because I've always had a soft spot for that model, and I was like,
oh my god, it's so cool! It's so cool.
Badass looking.
Does the chat have anything that they want to comment here, or want to go?
There was a few comments. When did the FLGN start?
Oh,
that was June.
Wow, that's a
good
point.
As well. Yep.
Yeah, that was June. Yeah, that was with Val becoming our director.
Yeah. Val took over the chair, and then we did have a comment on Crusade. Crusade is my preferred way to play.
Oh,
it's just harder to play when everyone only wants to play GD missions, and when you haven't played against someone, match play does a lot of the conversation, which I think is a good point because we couldn't roll up to the game store and get a random game of Crusade. It's easier to roll up and get a random game of match play because everyone kind of knows what the rules are going in, but definitely a game for you and your friend to play over a course of a couple of weeks. So yeah, that was interesting and a good point to share. So well, let's get on to the competitive news.
Yes,
I have a little bit of an editorial.
Take it away, Seth.
I don't want to be negative here, but I do have a a pet peeve of mine, and that is when someone tries to make anyone in this hobby feel bad about playing with their toy soldiers. Many folks have had a chance to read it, and if you haven't, don't take my word for it. Go over and read the article for yourself on Goonhammer. But Richard Siegler of Art of War posted an article today, essentially discussing his opinions about Drukhari. And no one here is trying to say that Drukhari are not a very strong codex and do not need a few more tweaks and balances. But the tone of that article very much came out, to me at least, and felt like it was belittling players that were using that codex and seeing success because it was in the article's words, so easy to make mistakes and still win. I just generally speaking, we all put a lot of time and effort into this hobby. And it personally upsets me if I see someone out there trying to tell people to feel bad about how they're playing the game. So it's competitive 40K. Let's be honest here, folks. If you're competing at the top level of an event, particularly any of these larger events, these majors, super majors, if you want a chance to compete, you got to take the hardest nails lists that you can find.
Yeah.
And so you're going to gravitate to the strongest combos. And right now that is Drukhari. And everyone's, the common misconception is this is a game of random luck. But you always look and see that always the top performers are generally the same group of people. So it can't just be luck. So I find it kind of a little, in bad taste to be one of those top players that play some of the strongest armies and the strongest combos, but then to be belittling people that are playing it because it's so easy. I don't like that. I think that probably was not Richard's intent. I haven't spoken to him personally, but every time I've interacted with him before, that doesn't seem his intent. But I do know that was a vibe in the community, and I'm here to say you play your game how you want to play your game and have fun with it, and don't feel ashamed. If you're like running the broke list, run the broke list and be happy with it. If you like running 120 Kroot warriors, you do you, man. Like that's how you want to play the game, then that's how you play the game. So don't feel bad about how that people might perceive you playing an army. So that's it. I'm not going to get into it anymore.
No. That was surprising coming from him, but wow.
Yeah. So, anyway, let's get into the ITC recap. Let's get on a positive spin here. We've got 40K competitive track. We've got the number one, still the boy king, John Lennon, followed up by number two, the old man, Brad Chester. I think we're literally going to be set up for a battle of the ages at LVO. Yeah, it's pretty good. I've been saving that one for a bit. We still have number three, Sean Naden, the most luscious hair in 40K. Number two, I think I want to name Manny Chima the Iron Gut, because if you ever watch this man's social media, good God, the food he eats after an event. And my stomach can't handle that. So good on you, Manny. And then number five is Jack Harpster. I don't have a good nickname for Jack yet. Jack, hit me up, buddy. Let's get that figured out.
We need a nickname for you, man.
Moving on to the hobby track, we have number one is still JT Steiger, which I also was correct on the pronunciation. Thank you, JT. We have number two, Lee Harris. Number three, Scott Boucher. Number four, Jacob Thayer. And number five, Noah Bedome. Unfortunately, my new friend, and definitely not JT's wife, but it's JT's brother,
his brother,
Lee Steiger, has been bumped down to sixth. So sorry, Lee. AOS competitive track, we have number one is Gavin Greigar. And BCP's feeling a little sick right now, so also number one, Gavin Greigar. But then after that, the real number two is Caleb Walters. Number three, William Saltz, which I believe is actually Cody Saltz, my friend down in Florida. If that's you, Cody, let me know. And number four, Anthony Trentinelli. Number five is Yuri Sichinova. And then moving on to the hobby track, number one, Derek Page. Number two, Nick Garcia. Number three, Ian Wood. Number four, Christopher Hernandez. And number five, No Aquino. That wraps up our ITC review
for the year. I don't think we're doing an episode next year. I'm not doing an episode. I'm on vacation.
Yeah, that's to be determined. So Kicker is definitely gone next week. The Sir Val and I will talk about if we're going to try to do one sans him, or if everyone's going to take a week. I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't mind a week.
Yeah, we do have a tech priest engineer that can always jump in and cover for me.
It's also true. Yeah, you're a good tech priest. We love you.
I'm not the talent. You guys are the talent.
Oh, talent's a strong
I'm
word for us.
all I'm doing is pushing the buttons in the background here.
So we did have a few other questions.
Oh, yeah.
The question is, do we know when the FLG Cathedral Zone will be released in full color?
Oof. Okay, so I don't want to
Oh, he
get your
can't spoil
hopes
it,
up.
folks.
Yeah, I don't want to say if that's coming. We have a few sets that are going to coming right after LVO. They're going to be new sets, so you'll have the Orc, you'll have the Gothic Ruins, and at least one, most likely two other ones. I can't say what the order is.
Yep.
That's up to Frankie to determine. I know that we will be doing that one eventually, though, so you might just have to sit tight for a little longer.
Yep.
Do you see that other one that came in? That other about the box.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah,
I do
okay.
want to circle back. James STF comments that he read that the article felt more like Drakari needed more nerfs. I agree. That is Drakari need more nerfs, and that was the gist of the article. I just did not like the tone that was taken in that article that belittled players. So I don't have any problem with the message of Drakari need a nerf. They're definitely very strong still. But I just the tone at which it was used did not make me feel very positive. So
Yeah.
sorry, circling back to that. But Kicker, Kelsey asks, "What's in the box?"
What's in that box? Yeah, so if you're not already a member, you should be. Join the Frontline Gaming community group on Facebook. That's where you can get all the inside scoop on things. And when we add more tickets to events, if we'll have coffee and donuts or not, as well as new products. I had to post a photo of a box that just showed up. We have a brand new product being released by Frontline Gaming. I cannot and will not tell you, Kelsey. I know you really want to know. It's not
Such a tease.
It's not
Such a tease.
terrain. It's not another mat. It's just like I can't go into more than that. But
okay.
Yeah, sorry, but it's something entirely new for Frontline Gaming, which you will love.
Bow ties.
Bow ties, exactly. Boom, right there. Bow ties. That's what we're doing.
Nailed
Bow ties.
it. You're welcome, internet.
Bow ties
Shot
and
glasses.
rubber chickens.
Shot glasses. I'm saying shot glasses.
Dude, actually, we are doing shot glasses. For,
yeah.
And the high rollers are going to get these kick-ass. I just ordered them the kick-ass pint glasses. So if you're getting a high roller package at LVO, you get a pint glass. But we're also going to have a few others that are being sold with a few of the other packages. And I think we're going to have a few to sell at the retail stores at the LVO. So the pint glasses are definitely in the pipeline.
All right. Well, I think that's all the questions we had.
Last thing, stickers. Everyone's been asking because of we did stickers for a few of the events this year, and we didn't do stickers. Yeah, stickers like little. We did them at Texas. We didn't have for ACO, so you didn't get one.
Okay.
But we did them at Lone Star. We did them at SoCal, and people were really frustrated. We didn't have stickers 2 weeks ago at New Orleans Open. So we will have stickers at LVO. They'll be there.
And on a secret side project, Kicker, if our artist comes through in time, you might have special Seth and Kicker stickers.
Ooh,
we'll see.
Yes.
That artist has 35 hours to deliver his images to me.
You better deliver.
TikTok artist.
We'll see. So we'll see if we can get them made in time. So I think that's about all we have for tonight. Any final thoughts, Kicker?
No, guys. I just wish you all, a wonderful, happy holiday.
Yep. Happy holidays to everyone out there from everyone here. We really appreciate you guys joining us. We hope you have a great holiday season. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Signals from the Frontline. This is it for this week. Probably see you in 2 weeks.
See you in the new year, guys.